Crystal Palace won, Man City 0. And look, if you wanted a game that just perfectly encapsulated our season, that'd be it. We were lifeless, toothless, disorganized. It didn't even look like we had a real game plan out there, man. It was genuinely just a horrible watch all around. You know, at the start of the game, the first 10-15 minutes, I actually thought we were playing very well. We were putting a lot of pressure on Palace and Henderson. De Bruyne sent a great ball into the back post for Haaland. You know, it was unfortunate that Henderson did save it, but it looked like we had an idea. We were creating chances, we were pressuring them, and then boom, counter-attack. Mateta with great hold-up play, and then in the end, Eze just finishes it off beautifully. And you know, it was a big shame to concede that goal because we did start really well, but that's been a big problem for us this season. Physicality, just physically, we can't compete with these guys, man. Our players are too slow, too sluggish, and too sloppy. You know, Crystal Palace is a team full of athletes, man. So to me, it's no surprise that we struggled heavily there. But you know, 1-0 down. We've been 1-0 down to Crystal Palace before, not too long ago, and we did win that game 5-2. So it did kind of give me a bit of hope that somehow we could recover it. But man, we just had a nothing performance. Nothing. I will say though, Henderson not getting sent off was a horrible decision. I don't know what was going on in there. I don't know if it was a bias against City, you know, our domination for the past 3 years. Maybe the officials wanted to see City lose. But you know, even if he did go off, even if Henderson did go off, would that have really changed anything? I don't know. But later on, Bernardo does really great to win that penalty. Everyone in the whole footballing world thought that Haaland was going to take the pen. Because if Haaland took the pen and scored the pen, this would be his first goal in a final for Man City. It makes sense, right? So 10 seconds later, I see Marmoush holding the ball. And you know what? Marmoush, he's a proven penalty taker. I've seen him take penalties. He's a good penalty taker. But Haaland is legit the best striker in the world. Or at least he's supposed to be the best striker in the world. Why is he not the penalty taker 100% of the time? This isn't like a Real Madrid Mbappe Vini situation. We have a designated penalty taker. Haaland should be the penalty taker 100% of the time. And the fact that he didn't step up for that moment, just, you know, it shows something, man. I'm not going to speak too much because I'll talk about Haaland in a later video. But it does show, you know, this season it hasn't been his season pretty much. But yeah, all that results into Marmoush. Pretty bad pen. And Henderson had a great save, but again, he should have been off. He shouldn't even saved that pen. And I think the penalty miss kind of lowered the morale for the rest of the team. We still create chances. You know, there was a new kid, Chevry, with his debut. He missed a big chance created by Kevin De Bruyne. And on this point, you know, Kevin De Bruyne, great game. He had a great game. It's a shame that he has to waste one of these performances on just a mediocre, average team. Even from a neutral perspective, they'll tell you this game was pretty boring. You know, Crystal Palace did score the offside goal, which thank goodness it was actually ruled as offside, but, you know, still, bad keeper from Ortega. If we look at the player performances for City today, I already said that I thought Kevin De Bruyne had a great game. Savinho, in my opinion, he's not at the level I want him to be at this point. And I think he needs to take a good look at himself in the off-season and try and improve because he's just not threatening enough. On the other hand, someone like Doku, he was very threatening today. And I think in the last couple of weeks, he's been very, very strong in the City side and he stood out a lot. Great dribbler, great chance creation, but just couldn't get the final shot right sometimes. Bernardo had an average Bernardo game. You know, good job in winning the penalty. He did kill a few attacks, but he wasn't awful today. I thought he was fine. Haaland and Marmoush, the less said about them, the better, in my opinion. Dual stinkers today. O'Reilly, obviously an amazing talent, but today, it wasn't it for me. I think him not being confident with his right foot did kind of hurt us. You know, he could have shot, and I think it probably would have went in if he was just confident with his right foot a bit more. The rest of the backline was average. Ortega, Akanji, Diaz, you know, average. Gvardiol was a little bit better, but still nothing to write home about. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I think for a season like this, which has just been disappointment after disappointment after disappointment, it's just best for us to leave it where it is and just move on to the next. You know, obviously there's a lot of things to work on over the summer and I'm excited to see what the board actually does to improve this team, whether that's getting rid of players or adding players. Again, if you like the video, please like the video, comment your thoughts on the game down below, subscribe if you like the content, and yeah, in a bit, peace.